The best two words in sports. Game 7.
After 9 long years, we finally get another Game 7 in the NBA Finals, and it was unexpected coming into it. Many didn't expect this series to live up to an NBA, like a good NBA Finals series. No, to be one of the best in the last couple years, because the last couple years have not been that good in my opinion for the NBA Finals. Even though I'm a Heat fan, 2023 was good no matter what, but it didn't. It wasn't. It was game. It went to five. The last one, I believe, went to five, but it felt like a sweep. 2022. That was Giannis. It was all right. But no one expected the Pacers and the Thunder because they're two small market teams. Just because they're two small market teams and teams that you never seen in this situation in the NBA Finals before doesn't mean it isn't be good. And to the surprise of many, it's been a really good finals, and it's coming down to one last game. And as Bill Russell said, the best two words in sports: Game 7. And man, Game 6, the Pacers took that one. The Pacers absolutely dominated the Oklahoma City Thunder in that game. They knew they were playing elimination game. It felt like they had the intensity. It felt like just backs against the wall, which it was backs against the wall, but it felt and they played especially like back against the wall. While the Thunder were playing like they had another game. Like they had another game left, which is not how you want to play in a game 6 because you never know what will happen in game 7. That's where things get wicked. That's when the role player turns into a star player. Caleb Martin back in 2023. Shane Battier back in 2013. Game 7. That's when the role player Ron Artest hitting a damn 3. That's when the role player turned into a star player. Spooky things happen in Game 7. It's a scary season when it comes to a Game 7. You never know. LeBron coming down, blocked by James. You never know what happens in Game 7. You don't want to play it with Game 6. You don't want to play a Game 6 like you have a Game 7, and that's what the Thunder did. And now they're stuck. Game 7. It's at home. It's at home. But will they be able? Will a young team? Both of these teams are pretty young, but the Thunder are the younger team. Clearly, they're a much younger team, much more inexperienced team when it comes to these situations. Will they be able to seize this moment? Will they be able to just face the pressure of having an elimination game when you were just up 3-2 and losing to the Indiana Pacers after a historic season, losing to the Indiana Pacers and falling short of your ultimate goal of an NBA championship? Will they be able to play with that pressure? I don't know, but I'm going to give you my opinion on it. Also, I'm going to give you who I think is going to win the Game 7, why I think they're going to win the Game 7, key factors to look for in the Game 7. But first, I want to say, this, personally, what I want to see in this Game 7. I want to see a good game. I want to see a good game. I want to see, it come down to the wire. And the last NBA Finals Game 7s we had, they've all been close. You had blocked by James. The Cavs won 93-89, 4-point game. Spurs Heat, close game, but due to fouls, it was a 7-point game, 95-88. Lakers Celtics, 83-79. Pistons Spurs, 81-74. And in 1994, Knicks Rockets, the Patrick Ewing missed layup, 90-84. And even before that, Pistons Lakers, 108-105. They've all been close. They've literally all been single-digit games. All of them. I wasn't expecting when I looked into this for it to be all single-digit games, but they were. And you see, we haven't had a Game 7 since 2016, and before that, it was a little more common, 2013, 2010, 2005. But it's not something you get very often, and it's not something that you take for granted. So hopefully, this is a really good Game 7. I hope it's not a domination Game 7 like people may think. But as you've seen, a lot of people think the Thunder are going to dominate Game 7. A lot of people think, Thunder are going to come out. They want this ship. They're going to get it. They're going to enforce enforce their will. But that's what people thought coming into the series throughout the whole series. They thought the Thunder were going to enforce their will throughout the whole series, and it was going to be Thunder in 5. Well, guess what? The Pacers brought this thing to 6. They dragged it back to OKC. And here's what I want to see. Besides a good game, I want to see consistent officiating, and I want to see how it's been officiated for most of the playoffs. Meaning, letting stuff go. Do not call the ticky-tack foul. I don't think the refs have been announced yet, but it's probably going to be Scott Foster, Tony Brothers, and some others. And they absolutely ruined the game back in Game 5. Or was it Game 5? No, it was Game 4, where what was it? It was game 4 where the Thunder won on the road, and they absolutely ruined that game because they were calling fouls that you haven't been called fouls in the NBA, and the players therefore don't know how to play. They don't know to play. Throughout the playoffs, it's been allowed more physical play, and the players are going to play more physical. But yeah, when they're getting called fouls, they don't know how physical to play. They're going to play physical, and then they're going to call for fouls. You know what I'm saying? It's inconsistent officiating that's going to affect the game because of how the game has been officiated throughout the whole playoffs. I want to see consistent officiating. I know I have faith in the NBA to make that call to let things go. It's Game 7. You're going to hear that on commentary. When a foul is not called, the excuse is it's Game 7, and I love that excuse. It is Game 7. I need basketball being played. I need the better team who's playing the better basketball that night to win the game. I don't need fouls. And this is why also, not just because the inconsistent officiating is going to affect the play majorly, it's also going to affect the Pacers. Because you saw that in that Game 4 where the Pacers lost at home, you saw the inconsistent officiating come into play. When there was 4 damn reviews in the game, and it's just slowing down the pace of the game, it's slowing down the momentum of the game, and that's what the Pacers play with. Pace and momentum. They're called the Pacers. They play with pace, and they play with momentum. And that will slow down the game. With these reviews, I had to look at Scott Foster for 500 hours, or with calling a whole bunch of fouls, shooting a whole bunch of free throws that game, which slows down the pace of the play, allows the Thunder to breathe. When the Pacers play with pace, they want to gas their opponents out. In Game 3, the Thunder were paced. The Thunder were gassed because of the pace of the play. And that's what comes with, and that's Indiana being rewarded for the type of style they perfected. And I want to see them, I don't want to see it be brought down or be plagued by officiating, by foul calls, because it allows the Thunder, allows that shade to become fresh and drop 15 points in the fourth quarter. I don't want to see that. I want to see the officiating be called the way it's been called all the playoffs. I don't want to see it be called in favor of the Thunder. I don't want to see it be called in favor of the Pacers. But that's what I'm saying. Those are my 2 things. Do not call a whole bunch of ticky-tack fouls because it will contradict what the whole playoffs has been, how the whole playoffs has been called, and will also affect the styles of both teams. And the Pacers drastically. It will definitely hurt their style of play and how they want to play in Game 7. But the Pacers, you know what? Who am I going with? Let's get the yapping out. Who am I going with? I'm going with the Indiana Pacers. The Indiana Pacers are going to win Game 7 tomorrow, today, whenever you're watching. We're going to win Game 7. I'm going to give you my reasons. Both of these teams are young, but the Thunder are more young. But that's not too much of a reason. I have faith in the NBA about their officiating. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that Adam Silver or the higher-ups tell whoever's reffing this game, let things go, let it be called like a Game 7. Do not let it be called ticky-tack. That's 2, but that's not too much of a reason. You know why? Because I feel like the Thunder are going to play more free. I feel like the Thunder are going to play more loose. I feel like the Thunder aren't going to feel all that pressure that OKC is feeling. OKC's at home. You give them that. Their home crowd is the best, probably. One of the best. But just the way Indiana played in Game 6, back against the wall, they played loose. OKC, they have it in the back of their mind they're going to blow this 3-2 lead because they played so casually in Game 6. They have it in the back of their mind that these Pacers, that they're on the verge of being upset. That these Pacers, everybody counted them out in not really round 1, round 2, and round 3, and now in the finals. Everybody counted them out. I feel like the Pacers have been playing more loose than the OKC Thunder. And I feel like their style of play also, throughout the course of the game, is going to wear the Thunder out in Game 7. And it's going to lead them to a victory. And I also think here, this is also one of the main parts of my reasoning in why the Indiana Pacers are going to win Game 7. Let me lay off my desk over here shaking the camera and stuff. I'm hyped for Game 7 and all. Game 7 is the ultimate which role player is going to come off the bench and give you 10 or 12 or 15. Which role player is going to come out and affect the game? There's always a role player. You could say in every game, but in Game 7, it's always like, who the hell is that guy? Why is he turning into Paul Pierce or turning into Jimmy Butler? Why is he turning into an actual good star player? And the Pacers, we have seen more of that from the Pacers, and we know that they have a whole bunch of role players, a whole bunch of bench players, a whole bunch of just average role playing dudes that will come off the bench and give you a spark and give you about 15. Obi Toppin, for example, is their third leading scorer in the playoffs, only started 5 games this whole season. TJ McConnell, people are talking about him possibly being the MVP if they win. You know? You have those two dudes. You have, I mean, you can say you have Ben Shepherd come off the bench, but also Obi Toppin's going to come out and give you rebounds, give you defense, and give you them threes that he'll hit. You have TJ McConnell's going to give you that heart, that energy, and those points with those little jumpers where he shoots over everybody. Ben Shepherd give you threes. Who else is there for the Pacers? I'm throwing blanks here. You never know. Miles Turner might turn it up. Who else? Who else we got here? I just know they have more of those bench type. Andrew Nemhart. That's who I was going with. Andrew Nemhart. I was saying I was just for some reason I have a feeling he's gonna have a good game. He's gonna have a Gabe Vincent. Just who the hell is that guy? 20-point game in Game 7. You know, just Benedict Mathurin. You never know. He might get high. You know, he had like 25 points in one of these finals games. You never know with this Pacers team who's going to come off the bench and who's going to give you those points and who's going to affect the game drastically. Now, the Thunder, they have great bench players too. They have they have those guys too. I want to say bench players. They have Alex Caruso. He had 0 points last game. Is he going to be able to do it again? He gave the Thunder 20 a couple times. No, he had 2 20-plus point games in this playoffs, and he had 0 the whole regular season. You know, Lou Dort might give you a couple threes, but those guys didn't play well last game. And I feel like they're going to feel the pressure, and they're not going to play well again. Now you could say the Thunder are whether they're tested. They already been in this situation in the semifinals against the Nuggets, but also the Nuggets. That's possibly the MVP. That is also just the semifinals. The pressure is different in the finals in Game 7. It's different. And I feel like the Pacers with Rick Carlisle and their team are going to play more freely, and they're going to play more loose in Game 7, and they're going to play the way they've been playing throughout this whole playoffs, and the way they've been playing this whole playoffs has been winning them games. Now, the Pacers haven't seen a Game 7 yet in this playoffs. This is as far as they went in this playoffs. So how are they going to feel? How are they going to look? I don't know. But I know Halliburton, coming off an injury, looked better than ever. And as long as Halliburton's being aggressive, but also doing his thing with his dimes and throwing assists, and Pascal Siakam's a consistent scorer, so you know he's going to give you 20. And you need Halliburton to give you about 20 to 18 with those assists. But I have, ultimately, those two guys just doing that. With who knows coming off the bench, and who knows from the Pacers, whether it's Nemhart, Obi Toppin, TJ McConnell giving you that spark off the bench. I have more confidence putting my money on if I needed to, on the Pacers than I do on the OKC Thunder. That's why I'm rolling with the OKC Thunder. I mean, the Indiana Pacers, not the OKC Thunder. Now, do I think Shea will have a good bounce back game coming off of 21 points? I think he'll give you probably 30. Is that going to win the game? No. Jalen Williams has been really good in this finals. I believe those two will be good this game. I feel they'll be fine. The 2 star players on Thunder will be fine. Just like I feel like the 2 star players on the Pacers will give you what they've been giving you. I feel like the 2 star players on the Thunder will give you what they've been giving you. But who else around them is going to make that impact? I have more confidence in the Pacers guys making that impact than the Thunder's guys. You know, Chet Holmgren hasn't been playing good. He's averaged 11 points in this finals. Hartenstein hasn't been playing as good as he's playing throughout the finals. Lou Dort will give you the threes, but he had 3 points last game. You know, just the guys off the bench. Alex Caruso is the only guy off the bench. Who else is going to give you points? Isaiah Joe? I mean, Aaron Wiggins has been alright. Cason Wallace, all these guys will give you a couple threes, but they're not going to make a huge impact like I feel like those Pacers guys will. They're going to pace it. The Pacers are going to pace the Thunder. The Thunder aren't going to strike. It's going to be the Indiana Pacers, your 2025 NBA Finals champions. The NBA champions, the NBA championship, the Larry O, is going to Indiana. Mark my words.